Long time no see. It's been a month. I've been busy. Sorry, I'm kind of filing my nails right now. Anyways, hello. Let's get started. It's been a month. It's currently 4:53. I don't know what day it is. I just know. Oh, yes, I do. It's Friday, September 25th. So let's get started. So today we're going. I think I'm gonna go for like a kind of natural soft look because I'm kind of tired and have to work tomorrow. So I don't want to be all up all night. I don't want to be up all night taking like freaking glitter off and stuff. So we're gonna use the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion just to get it started because I'm feeling a little dry. We're just gonna put that everywhere. So, I finally got this account up and running. I opened up a new makeup account because I haven't used the other one, my original makeup account, Why Chibi, in so long. So it's like dead and everything. And I know that if I was to use it, it would just die. Like I would get no traction. And, you know, that's fine. But I'm gonna start from square one. I left the account up so that I could have like reference to like. I left the account up so I could look back on where I started and how far I've come. So today we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. I love CeraVe's products; they're the best. So today we're gonna use the Kismet Pure Vitamin C Primer. It's a little sample because I'm testing things out, see if I like them because we're going into fall right now. Can't be too cautious. You're gonna have to start switching everything up. I usually use e.l.f. primer. It's my favorite primer, the e.l.f. Putty primer. The e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. It's this one. It's my favorite one. e.l.f. has really good products for surprisingly cheap prices. Like, you would think they would be more on that. They're not. So, yeah. I just finished watching the movie Waves. And when I tell you that Alexa Demi is such a great actor, and so is Kelvin Harrison. And I forgot who plays the little sister, but they're such good actors. Like, I really felt it. I really, really felt it. It was such a good movie. If you haven't watched the movie, speed past this because I'm gonna spoil it. But like, he did not have to do her like that. He really did not have to do her like that. Poor Alexa. Like, he did not have to do Alexis like that. I felt like Alexa Demi, she plays in Euphoria, by the way. She plays Maddie in Euphoria. I love that show. I feel like he did not have to do her like that. And this girl, every movie she plays in, she's in a toxic relationship. Girl. Like, so we're going to use the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer by ColourPop, just because I want a little like coverage today. I'm not going anywhere, so I don't want too deep of a coverage. And plus, oh, why is it coming out like that? That's so ugly. Oh, hold on. I gotta shake it or something. Maybe if I just put it on the sponge. It's like breaking apart. You see that? It usually doesn't do. Ew. Okay, it's fixed. I don't know why I did that. But now I just said I wasn't going for that much of a coverage, and now I'm gonna have to put all of this on my face. You know what? Let's just rub it in with my hands. That movie was so good. I feel like, so as we all know, the movie begins. Let's talk about the movie. The movie starts out with Tyler, the main character of the movie, played by Kelvin Harrison. He's an athlete, a wrestler, and you don't really know what kind of athlete he is because they don't really show it. Like, they don't really tell you, they kind of show you. So with the very beginning of the movie, they show him like exercising, doing his thing, doing what athletes do. He's driving, cuts clips to pictures of him and Alexis. The character is his girlfriend, whom is played by Alexa Demi. My fave. I love her. She's so pretty. She's such a good actor. Love women. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Ooh. Shows him like being an athlete and everything, and it shows their relationship, and they go to a couple parties and stuff, normal teenage stuff. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. But then it moves on to them talking about an injury, because it's about the movie is so next we're gonna use Juvia's Place Velvet Matte Foundation as a bronzer because it's too dark, and I want to put some use to it because I can't return it because I got it when I was in Maryland. So why not? Why does everybody want to contact me when I'm filming a video? Nobody ever wants anything from me unless I am filming a video, unless I'm doing something. Like, come on, stop doing that. Jesus Christ. Now we're gonna take this random brush, this 301 brush by RT. Got it out of Marshall's for like $3. A very long time ago, so I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately. So what was I saying? As I was saying, it showcases their life and everything, and he's in this beautiful relationship with Alexa. He has her name in his phone down as Goddess. It's like so corny, and that's fine. Healthy relationship goals, that's fine. So he has her name in his phone under Goddess. I'm talking about Alexis, aka played by Alexa Demi, and it's like a normal relationship. But then they get into the relationship with his father, because if you if you read the description of the movie, it says that he's an athlete and he has a controlling father who wants the best for them. The normal narcissistic, the narcissistic parent who plays it off as, I want what's best for you, but actually wants to live through you because they couldn't live the life that they wanted to live. So he has him doing personal training every morning, 5 a.m. to 9, and I think that's a little much, but that's because I don't exercise. So yeah, that was a thing. But anyways, moving on, it talks about his shoulder. So I'm like, what's wrong with his shoulder? He received an injury, a career-ending injury. You know how these injuries be. They be the end of the world for these athletes, and I feel for them. I really do feel for them, because dang, you get an injury, it's over. Especially when you spend your whole life doing something that you love, specifically a sport, and then because you didn't do anything else and you're going to school for said sport, you can't even change your life because you can't even change it because that's really the only thing that you know. I'm going in with the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic creamy concealer. Okay, and the shade medium dark. We're gonna put them right here. You know, put it right here. I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm pretty sure this is my shade. This is most definitely my shade, like in skin tone. But I constantly, like, I made the executive decision to buy the concealer in my shade on accident. Didn't mean to do that, but I did it. So, oh, this beauty blender is also by ColourPop. So anyways, it's normal, nothing out of the ordinary. But you can tell that he's slowly becoming annoyed, because when he comes home from school, he doesn't say anything to the dad. He says hi to the mom, but he walks through and says nothing to the dad, and the dad comes. It's like, so you can't speak to your father? And it's just like, oh, that's where that's going. If you have a narcissistic parent, you would understand. So, anyways, moving on. I want to talk about the relationship. It's pretty normal. They go to parties together. They're like a cute couple. It's normal. Like, it's nothing really out of the ordinary, I would say. At least to me. Like, I don't really know much about relationships because I don't do relationships. So then we're gonna go. Why does everybody want to talk when I'm doing stuff? Okay, so then we're gonna go on with the cream, with the Fenty Beauty cream blush in the shade Fugo Flush, and we're just gonna get some of that and put it on there. So they have the relationship. It's pretty normal, but then he gets a text. Oh yeah, regarding the shoulder, the dad's talking about the shoulder, like, not the mom. The mom is like, we can schedule an appointment. Is your shoulder hurting? We can schedule an appointment. He's like, no, my shoulder's good. He was lying. We gonna put this right here. Mom, he washed my cheer uniform with the dog stuff, and Neil has dog hair all over it. I'm gonna edit that out. That's so pretty, and I love this. I just love this. I prefer to wear this blush when I have this on because it's not as full coverage. It's not a, it's a buildable blush, but it's not a blush that is like out there like my NARS blush. My NARS blush is like really out there. No, a better comparison would be my Milk Makeup one. I have a Milk Makeup blush, but it comes in stick form, and when you put it on, it's like out there, and I love an out there blush. But this one is more natural. It's buildable though, right? I don't really like the shine, so I'm going to do something about that. But it's a tinted moisturizer, and I'm pretty sure that you're not really supposed to set it. I mean, you can set it. Anyways, back to the scheduled programming. So I look pretty. Okay, so back to the scheduled programming. He has something wrong with his shoulder, and he says that he doesn't want an appointment, and then it goes on to like normal living, right? But then he gets a text from Alexa talking about something. We need to talk. No, it's not we need to talk. It's my period's late, right? Oh yeah. I kind of want a really bright under eye today, so we're going to use the translucent Airspun loose setting powders right here. I clearly don't use it that much because the smell very baby powdery, and I'm not a fan. To think that used to be like my ish back in the day. When I first started, that's all I used, but then yeah, not for me. Did I just, I'm so rough on my makeup, so it just be like all over the place. Honestly, I just be like, whatever. Anyways, moving on again. So they have the thing going on, and she's like, I'm late, and he's like, what do you mean? And then she's like, let's meet up and talk. They meet up and talk. They go to the beach, and they're like sitting on like this thing. I think it's like a bench. Let's call it a bench. And they're sitting and they're relaxing, and it's like, you know, normal couple stuff, and they're talking, and she's like, I'm really scared. And he's like, you're really scared of what? And he's like, I was serious when I said that my period was late, like it hasn't come in 3 weeks, and sorry, I got a call, and it ended the video. Anyways, I'm on my business. So she's talking about like, I'm serious, it's late, I don't know what to do, yada yada yada. And she's like, I don't know, I don't have anyone to talk about this stuff with. And he's like, what do you mean? You can always talk to me. Don't ever think that you can't. You know, like normal. I'm thinking this is a healthy relationship. But it was. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't, because it was, unless like I didn't pick up on it. It was like a healthy relationship, but then she got pregnant. No, I don't think it was her. I think it was, anyways, it wasn't her. It most definitely wasn't her, and it wasn't him. No, it was most definitely him, but it wasn't her. Okay, so yada yada yada, moving on. They start kissing and stuff in the ocean, you know, couple shit, like they're having a great time, and you know, it was cutesy, it was fun and everything. And then they go home. They go to it like moves on to the story. I'm just gonna like skip through so I don't have to spoil everything for everyone. I'm going with the Lovecraft Beauty Bronzer. This one broken, so I'm not even gonna pick it up. Oh yeah, I also, I've used it so much that it doesn't have its name, the packaging on it. Yeah, so we're just gonna, yeah, like just like right there, just, yeah. I probably should have did the bronzer before I put the blush, but it's a powder. It's a powder. So anyways, so like I was saying, what happened was, fast forwarding, sorry, another complication happened. So back onto the story. So he goes to the hospital, right? What leads up to like what eventually happens is she leads, like, he goes to the hospital, right? And no, sorry, another complication. So she's talking about it, and they're like, what are we gonna do? And then it cuts off to the scene. We don't know what situation, we don't know what they talk about. We know they talk about it, but we don't know what they talk about, because it just cuts from her telling him reassuring her, makeout scene in the ocean. So then it moves on, right? And they move on. It's cute, peachy. Oh yeah, so next we're going to use, and yet we're facing another complication. Anyways, so it goes on to, he tells her about it, it moves on. We don't know what happens. We don't really know what they talk about. So then they move on, and it's kind of peachy keen, and life goes to normal. But then they go to Planned Parenthood, and it moves on to Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood is like, you know, the place where people get abortions and stuff. That's not the only thing that they provide there, but it's one of the things that people seem to always talk about when they reference Planned Parenthood, and it's very vital to the story. So they're at Planned Parenthood. You got the crazy mob, and the guy makes the they go in there They're saying all of this stuff. Don't go in there, baby killer center, da da da, all that stuff. They're in the car, they're driving. She's like, oh my God, this is too much. And then they go in. It cuts to where they get out the car, they go in. And then it cuts to a scene where the security guard is like, we're in this together, yada, yada, yada. Right? We're going to go in with the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade white. Right? And, oh my God. Right here in my face. Anyways, so it cuts to that, right? And when the security guard is done talking, she comes out. And he thinking she's almost done, but she's clearly disheveled and distraught and just like upset. You can tell that she's upset. And then they're driving. I mean, they leave. Some white lady calls her. Well, some white lady calls him. They're leaving. They get in the car. Some white lady calls him a slur. And he's like, what the F you just say to me, bitch? So he's already showing signs of abusive behavior. Because no matter how angry you get, you should, as somebody else, you should not get angry with your significant other. Because he tells Alexis, get the fuck in the car. Get the fuck in the car. Like, really, tells to calm him down. They get in the car. In the car, she's disheveled. They're driving down the street. She's crying. She won't look at him. She's looking at the door. And he asks us what's wrong. And they start going through it. He's like, so you went through with it? She like, I couldn't do it. And he gets mad. He like, what the fuck you mean you can't do it? And it's the same, you know, the classic, we're too young. We can't do this. Yada, yada, yada. That. He's driving down the street and he spits on her, calls her bitches, all kinds of stuff. And he spits on her and she gets out the car. Anyways, he's a wrestler. So he had a shoulder injury that had gone untreated for so long that they could no longer do anything about it. And he did not like that. They said that he would go to see, he couldn't compete in the season. He would have to get immediate surgery, and the doctor asked him if he wanted him to tell his parents, and he said no. So, you know, him being an athlete, clearly that took a toll on both him, his career, and his mental health. And, you know, back again with the father, his father was very controlling. So imagine his father hearing that, and it's like, well, damn. You know, his father is, to me, the father was trying to live his life vicariously through him. This is the James Charles palette. We're going to use a brown in here. I haven't decided what brown, but let's use a brown. So, I think I'm going to go with this brown. Like I said, I kind of want to go for something soft today. I'm not really in the mood like that. So, he's like, oh, da-da-da-da. He doesn't tell his parents, but he goes through with the tournament. And at the tournament, fast forward, at the tournament, he's going through with it. But he doesn't tell his parents that he needs surgery. So he's doing his wrestling match with an untreated injury. See how that went? Yeah. So he's doing the wrestling match with an untreated injury. His mom and his dad is there. And he clearly, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know that he gets injured. He cries, and it's like from then on, that's when everything really spirals. That's when everything really spirals down. And he's kind of like, F the world, yada, yada, yada. And this is when things get out of hand. So, his parents don't say anything, and he hears his parents arguing. Right? Right. So, that's how we know it. But let's talk about the relationship. So, because things are not going the way it should be. He's clearly very unhinged right now because, I mean, like, he just ended his wrestling career due to like an untreated injury, and that's gotta be harmful for anyone here, like athlete. Like, I know that if I lost my hands and I couldn't do makeup again, I'd probably be so sad. Let's go with the Moroccan Magic palette by Ulta Beauty, and we're gonna go on with the shade Camel right here, right? So, you know, that's gotta be, you know how, like, it sucks to hear, basically. So, you know, fast forward, prom comes, he sees her. Well, it was smart. Let's just note, it was very smart on her end to end it before it got ahead. Because I forgot to note that she didn't want to talk to him, and he was like, I'm coming over here. And she's like, no, you're not coming over here. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not going to speak to you while you're angry with me. We're not doing this. And he doesn't like that. He's like, I'm coming over here. They don't talk. Prom season comes, and she doesn't go with him. She goes with her gay best friend. I forgot his name. She did say it. But there is an after party, and at the after party, he sees her. He like gets in an argument with his parents, lets them know how he really feels about them, and storms out, takes the car and storms out. I forgot he had a breakdown prior to this, but due to her breaking up with him, and they took the car keys. So his mom caught him trying to take the car keys out of his father's room the night of the prom. And she's like, where are you going? I'll tell your father. And she's like, you know what, Catherine? I don't fucking like you. Da-da-da. I hate you. You're not my mom. Da-da-da. And she's like, I am your mom. Like, she's clearly hurt. And he's like, you're not my fucking mom. And his father was like, boy, I'll put you in your seat. You know how parents are. But he thinks the father's like, put you in your place. You better stop talking to your mama like that. And long story short, the father didn't win. He takes the car keys and he leaves. And he drives over to the party. And he's looking for her, and he's highly intoxicated. He's on drugs. So he drives over there, and he's like looking for her, and then he sees her go upstairs with the guy, which is the gay best friend. And it kind of looks suspicious, but it's not. He thinks that it's not suspicious. She could do whatever she wanted. Basically, you know how you play with the guys, fling them around, flirty, very flirty, but she wasn't flirting. It was joking around. It was with her best friend. But because he was so intoxicated, he saw what he wanted to see, and he didn't like what he saw, so he automatically assumed that it was something different. And he doesn't say anything. He sees that and he just moves on. But then he catches her by herself, and they get into this. She's getting beers. He comes in there and he's like, aren't you not supposed to be drinking that stuff? And she's like, what do you want? Like, leave me alone. And they get into an argument, and she's like, this isn't for me, but you wouldn't know that. She's like, did you wouldn't know that because you don't fucking listen to me? And he was like, he goes, oh, did you sleep with them? She's like, no, that's my guy best friend, but you wouldn't know that because you don't fucking listen to me. And he's like, he gets mad. They start arguing, and she's screaming. He's screaming. He hits her. She slaps him. They're slapping each other, beating each other, until he finally gets mad and shoves her really hard, and she falls on her head, and it cracks open. And then he's sitting there, and he's like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Like, oh my God, this is too much. And while he's in his state of shock because he just killed his girlfriend, one of her friends comes down. Oh yeah, we're gonna go in the shade Argan, and we're just gonna like use that to like blend the crease a little bit. Anyways, so After all of that happens, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. He flees the scene after he gets caught, and yeah, he's standing over her, holding his head. The friend comes, sees everything. She starts screaming. Everybody runs to it, and they see Alexis dead on the floor. And they're like, "Oh my God, is she dead? Duh! Call the ambulance to see before she dies." But she wasn't dead. She didn't die on the spot, but due to her injuries being untreated for so long, she died in the hospital. Yeah, and that happened. Now we're gonna go on with Sahara. Ooh, Stargaze is really pretty. No, it's getting real hard for me not to put these glitter on my eyeball. Anyways, so what have we learned? She was smart to walk away, but he was obviously unstable. I feel like not only because of his injuries. I mean, that's upsetting for anyone. But because his father was very controlling. So he was never really able, you know how it is with narcissistic parents. They are not very good at parenting. They're narcissists. What do you expect? So obviously he doesn't know how to deal with emotions because he's not even allowed to express them freely in his own home. So he gets mad, and the only way he knows how to express things is through anger, and you see that a lot in the movie. So it was smart of her to walk away, and unfortunately she was unable to get away, and he was unable to control his anger. That's no excuse. You murdered her. Look at this. That's saffron. That's Marrakesh, and that is Stargaze. I don't know. Anyways, let's put a little bit of Marrakesh on, yeah, like just right here in the middle. So pretty. Yeah. So clearly it's like not a good drawing for him. Anyways, so yeah, that's how that went. What have we learned? Walk away. And that's what she did, and unfortunately it did not end well for her. But this is why they say if you're not going to take care of your kids and allow them to live their own life for them, this is what you get. You get kids who don't really know how to express themselves. And I don't even think that this is just like what I'm gathering. I don't even think he himself knew what he was becoming. I don't think that he did. And I don't think that he had the intention to hurt her. What happened to her character was very tragic, and it's a very real thing that very real people experience. Another instance of domestic abuse, but she caught on to it early, and unfortunately she was too late. As sad as that is, I just wish better for her. Yeah, I don't really speak on heavy topics like that because I don't know how to. Like, I'm not very good with words anyway, so I'll be trying. Really do try. But let's see. I just wish that things were better for her character, and I feel like it shed the light. And then when the movie does a really good job of not only showing how it affected her, but how it affected the family, because in the movie they talk about like how, like, after he gets arrested, it goes on about how, like, what happens to his sister Emily and his parents' relationship. His sister Emily becomes like an outcast. She has to delete her social media and take everything down because people are fucking mean for no reason. They're so mean. They're so mean. They're leaving nasty comments. They had left slurs under her brother's page, and she says that they left slurs. She says to a guy that she meets. She does find love, by the way. I'm not going to go into their relationships, but she tells her boyfriend that she had deleted her Instagram and all her social media because people were leaving slurs and mean comments under all of her social media every chance that they get. I'm just putting that shade from the James Charles filing under my eye. It affected their parents' relationships in a way because the mom, Catherine, couldn't even look at the father. She couldn't even look at him. Like, because she said to him, she was like, I don't hate you, but I'm beginning to hate you because every time I look at you, I see him. And that was deep. That was real deep. That was deep. So, I don't know what to tell you. Let's use my birthday gift, the Milk Kush mascara. So, like, you know, that movie speaks on to some heavy themes, but I'm glad that it looks like the father, at the end of the movie, it looks like the father and the mother do rekindle their relationship, but I'm not sure. And the daughter looks happy. Emily finally gets the closure she needs from her father, and it looks like life has gone back to normal. But you can never be too certain. I know that the mother visits the son, but they don't show that scene. They just show her visiting him. And that's it. But what I learned from this is, like, what I took from this is love people while they're there. In the movie, the writers had wrote him down as like a controlling, but to me it just seems like another narcissist, because he went on and on about how, like, them as the family as African American people have to work twice as hard, no, not twice, but 10 times harder than other ethnic groups, because of the simple fact of being black. And that is not a lie. That is very true. So, you know, but he also goes on to say, oh, I dropped everything for you. I did this, I did that. Everything I do is for you. You got all of these connections, all these opportunities that I never had, that I could only wish. You know, so like a classic, I'm living through you, but won't admit it. You know, that's how that went. That's what I took from it. I thought it was just another one of them cases. But just told you the whole movie. That was pretty much the sum of the whole movie. And what you should take from this is, don't have kids if you haven't fully healed your trauma. If you're not ready to allow your kids to be themselves, because it doesn't always end well. Some people turn out perfectly fine, but then you have the special cases like this one, and it doesn't turn out well for anyone. And I feel like that's what some people need to take into consideration before they even think about having kids. Because worst case scenario, stuff like this happens. We're going in with Club Hopper, and we're just going to overline the lips real quick.
Or they even open at 3 o'clock. Open up at 4. So everybody on the plane.
And we're gonna, I don't know which shade I want. Hold on. Oh. I don't know which one I want. I think we're gonna go in with my fave, Hot Chocolate by Fenty Beauty. I feel like this is something that you need to take into consideration before being a parent, because you can ruin your kids in multiple ways without even knowing it, honestly and truly. Like, you have some kids who bottle everything up because every time they try to speak to you, you don't want to hear it, or you make it all about you. Or you have some kids who, these are just random drugstore eyelashes. You have some kids who like grow up to be who grow up to seem perfectly fine but aren't. Listen, some people become serial killers. It always starts with the parenting. You have to understand that you mold your kids. The first people they learn from are you. So you have to be very careful, because you're molding a young mind, and you don't want your kid to turn out to be a serial killer, an abuser, a pedophile, a rapist. You don't want them to like turn into something bad, in a sense. You just really don't want that. You know, it's not something that you should want or ever want, but unfortunately that could sometimes be the case. That's why you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. And I live by that, truly. That's why I don't do relationships, because you have to, I feel like in order to do relationship, you have to be sane, you have to be happy, you have to be content with yourself, because if you're not content with yourself, how are you going to be there for someone else? That's what I'm getting at. And I feel like that's what happened, because in the movie, the parents get into an argument, and she's like, this is all your fault, you pushed him to do this, you. He's like, me, and she goes in to say how controlling and how his behavior towards him, his narcissistic ways towards him were too much for him, and he finally snapped. Fenty Beauty highlighter and Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb in the shade How Many Carats. You know, like, she had a point. She had a really good point. Like, you know, your ways, your controlling ways, in a sense, did shape him to who he was. He knew that he couldn't talk to you about it, and he knew that talking to his mom about it wouldn't do anything about it. But he never had, but I mean, he knew that talking to you about it wouldn't do anything. And he also knew that he had a mom, but it wasn't his mom, it was his stepmom. So he didn't really trust her like that. That kind of like came out in the end. No, let's leave it like that. Let's use the Wet n Wild After Sex Glow highlighter. Oh yeah, love it. I love looking like a glazed donut. But like, you have to ask yourself, before you have kids, you have to ask yourself, am I okay before I have kids? Because then you have scenarios like this. But you never want to bring a kid into the world and not have yourself together, is basically what I'm saying, honestly. But that's pretty much all I've got for everyone today. I give them my setting spray. What did you take from this? I be all over the place, as we all know. I'm glad we can have this chat. Oh, I love this look. It's pretty. Nice and subtle. I thought about doing a red lip, but I like this lip better. So yeah, Moral of the story is stop living through your kids. No, I'm kidding. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram at totally not chibi, and subscribe. Bye.